Shouts of anger and frustration aimed at the person who put up this sign in his yard near Spencer Elementary School.
This is not okay, and I'm a mother here. My children go to this school, and I will not tolerate this.
She is sticking up for the family who lives in the home the sign points to. They tell News 4 they've had issues with the man since moving in a couple years ago.
They don't like us. They complain about everything. My kids played in the yard over there in the grass, and they come to the fence and they start telling them, hey, you need to go to your house. Hey, you need to stop playing.
Families picking up their kids from Spencer Elementary say this does not surprise them.
I was a kid here in the school over 20 years ago, and it was like the same kind of way. He lives next to the school, but like even like balls over the fence, like common things. Still an issue, I guess. At one point, police showed up. That's when the homeowner came outside. Ordonez says it is one of the few times he has had an opportunity to try and speak with the man.
They don't like Hispanic people, or they don't like nobody yet. I don't know what this problem is. We never mess with him at all.
We out here.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
No, you.
Officers say because neither side is breaking any law, they can't do anything. We reached out to OKCPS as well, with it being so close to the elementary school. They say there is nothing they can do about it because the sign is not on their property, adding, quote, the district is committed to all students, and all students will be educated equally. Families hoping for a change.
I wish we would quit spreading the hate. You know, I know this community has grown, and everybody that's coming to this community has made an impact and makes a difference for what they do here.
In Spencer, Tanner DeLeon, Oklahoma's News 4.
Wonders, they say it will never end. Because when you have a neighborhood where you have elementary school, and close to the school, you have a man who is anti-people, anti-black, anti-brown, and he's always telling kids, hey, don't come to this region. Don't go. If you come close, always harassing the people because he's anti-brown, anti-black, and that's become so often that even the neighbors are tired of that character, and they actually stood up to this guy, and they are saying, what are you talking about? And of course, the drama was so funny, but at the same time, it's not fun because when you see a man grown up, even students that came to the school 20 years ago were saying that this is how the man used to behave. And of course, this guy needs to be washed. I think he should be taken to the hospital to check if he is actually okay, because this behavior is unbelievable, it's unacceptable, and it should be addressed. That's what I feel. The neighbors came out on the placard and they're saying, hey, we are not accepting. And guess what? It's a beautiful white lady who stood against this man. And of course, the family were interviewed and they said they've never really met him, but they always know that he's not happy with the people, especially the brown people in the neighborhood and all that. And it's so crazy, guys. Let's go check it out. And of course, if you love this great content, do me a favor, like, subscribe, and share this video because people need to know what is happening in vicinities, and these are the ways to expose them because a lot actually happening. And of course, I have great news to share with you. You don't want to miss this story because a lot of things I've compiled in this story, and I want you to watch it so that we can come back and begin a conversation. Credit belongs to the original creator of every content in this video. I'll be right back. Don't go nowhere.
So this is fucking horrible. A Republican lawmaker in Oklahoma introduced a bill to label Hispanics as terrorists. This is Bill HB 3133, which puts any member of a street gang or anybody who has gang-related activities as terrorists, but it also puts any person who is of Hispanic descent living within the state of Oklahoma as a terrorist. Well, check this out. If you are Hispanic and are a terrorist in Oklahoma, you will have your assets, your property, your vehicles, and your money taken from you. Do you understand this is the colonizers' playbook, right? They're calling Hispanic terrorists the same way they would call indigenous people savages as a way to justify stealing their land and their property from them. And after getting backlash for this bill, Humphrey responded with, I apologize for using the word Hispanic, but I was not wrong. Again, these are Hispanic. Reality is they are Hispanic. There's nothing to be ashamed with. What are you talking about? There is no shame with being Hispanic at all. There should be shame with the kind of bills you're fucking introducing. And then you try to say, okay, I won't use the language Hispanic, but
Oklahomans deserve better. If you haven't already seen, Representative Justin Humphrey from Southeast Oklahoma has introduced race-based legislation, which shows a clear disregard for what we value as a state, for federal law, and for just basic human morality. he proposed HB 3133, which specifically singled out Hispanics by name. The bill states that anyone who is Hispanic residing within the state of Oklahoma and is a member of a gang would be deemed a terrorist. No other racial group is singled out. Conflating Hispanics with terrorists is textbook fear-mongering. And Hispanics are not, as Humphreys put it, those people who are here illegally and who are coming across the border trying to do harm to Oklahoma. The Hispanic community is growing and thriving throughout the state. We're your fellow neighbors, congregation members, friends and family, and just people working hard to realize the American dream. History has shown what happens when we're complacent in the face of racist legislation, and I'm not going to stand by silently and let history repeat itself. Not only do Representative Humphrey's constituents deserve better, but all Oklahomans deserve better. We should be focused on legislation that truly benefits the lives of our constituents. As we begin session in the next few weeks, remember that your voice truly does matter, especially in making sure that bad policy does not become law. Because
Hi, I'm Kylie, and here are the top 5 racist things white people say about Hispanic people in private. I've gotten a lot of requests for this one, so I wanted to start by saying 2 things. Number 1, I was raised in California, so probably the most discrimination that I've seen has been anti-Hispanic, anti-Latino. And number 2, if you're a white person and you do these things, stop doing them. Number 1, a lot of white people refer to Latino people as either this term or this term behind their back. If you don't know the history behind these terms, please look them up because they're rooted in a very dark history of discrimination. Number 2, white people cannot stop talking about the number of children in Latino families. If a white person asks you how many kids that you have, be careful because they could be thinking a number of judgmental or racist things. Number 3, I've heard a number of comments specifically about Latina girls about how they will not go anywhere because they're just going to get pregnant. Doesn't matter that plenty of white women get pregnant. Number 4, the tendency of white people to assume that any Spanish-speaking Latino is here illegally. And number 5, the tendency of white people to try to exploit the labor of Latino people. There is a stereotype that they will do very hard work, very good work for very low pay. So you will see white people often hire contractors who are Hispanic in order to avoid paying other people.
I held it down for the Blanquitos. Y'all gonna be proud of me. Listen, let me tell you a little story. I grew up in a little rough area, you know, poverty, roaches in the kitchen, the whole 9. And my bus was filled with Hispanics and blacks, all Hispanics and black. And there was this one little black kid. Oh, he was racist. He was anti-Hispanic. Era racista. I don't know if I'm saying it right. My Spanish is a little falling off, but he hated Spanish people. He said, I don't like these gualas. And for the OGs, they know, like, it's like a derogatory term towards Spanish people. Guala. It's like a fast Spanish-speaking nobody. And he will always say, I don't like gualas. I don't like Joselitos. I don't like Josue's, Felipe's, a whole bunch of names. And he'll always be an asshole towards all the Hispanics on the bus. It got to the point that this guy was bullying, like beating their ass. He was a bad little fucker. I remember him vividly, man. He had like a strong cheekbones. They were up to here. Chocolate silky face. He was a little ugly, like little African statue in the face, motherfucker, like an African artifact statue, voodoo doll in the face. But besides that, he was a jerk off. He will kick these, I remember one time he kicked this kid's ass, beating the shit out of him, right? Nobody says nothing because everybody's scared of him. I was scared of him. He's just beating all the Spanish kids up on the bus, beating their ass. It got bad. There was more black kids on the bus than Spanish. So he would like kick everybody's ass. It went like from dark Hispanic all the way to the light. Like he was kicking everybody, all the shades of Hispanics, from dark to light. So, and I was the palest one. So I'm like, man, he gonna fuck with me last. I'm gonna be here in the back of the bus like, this motherfucker, man, he's bullying everybody. He's kicking all their asses. Like, you know, he's extorting them. He was a piece of shit. He came from like Alabama or something. He just didn't like Hispanics at all. And the last straw was when he beat up one of my acquaintances. I liked him. His name was Angel. And I liked him, man. He used to let me borrow video games, N64 games. He was a real good kid. And one time, he beat the shit out of this kid, Angel, man. I was rooting for him. I'm like in the back of the bus, like, please kick his ass, because I'm tired. I'm fed up with this kid. Every day, this kid is just bullying people, being an asshole, saying how much we stink like Goya beans. And to my surprise, man, he did it. He did. Angel got his ass whooped. Angel got his ass whooped. I'm like, fuck! Somebody got to stand up to this kid, man. I ain't fed up with this motherfucker, because I'm next. He's beating everybody's ass. It got from brown skin all the way to light. Now it's my little ass. And he never really fucked with me. Honestly, he'll just look at me and I'll be like, nah. And he'll be like he ain't like nobody. He was like a rabies type kid. Like he wasn't shit. So after he beat the shit out of Angel, I'm like, man, let the like a bad taste in my mouth. I'm like, yo, this guy, somebody got to stand up to this kid. I was terrified of him. I ain't gonna lie. I was a little bitch back then. In middle school, I was pussy. But I got a little braver. Like, once I hit high school, I got a little braver. Then I just, went full loco. So the kid would get dropped off in the projects. That's where he lived. In the projects. But my friend lived right next to the projects. He lived in a house right next to the projects. I told my best friend, like, yo, tell that man I want to fight him. And I made sure I called him out on a Friday. So, we could fight on the weekends. Because he lived in the projects. I'm like, I want to go over there and fight him. Because I'm tired of that bully. I'm fed up with him. I was scared as shit. But I'm like, he's going to end up bullying me anyway. So I might as well get it out the way. Well, Saturday comes, my boy D like, yo, he's over there waiting for you at the projects. I go to the projects. Bro, there's a whole bunch of motherfuckers out there. All his friends, his family out there. I'm like, I ain't about to go in there. I only have my boy D and my other friend. We ain't going to name that bitch ass nigga. I know he watching this. So my friend lives in front of the projects. There's a fence right there and his house is right here. And they're all like looking at me like, what's up? You said you wanted to fight, back then. Come over here. I'm like, hell no. To my boy, like, they're about to jump me, bro. My boy said, no, they're not gonna jump me, bro. He said he'll shoot, he'll run the one-on-one with you. And I'm like, ugh. Then the mom comes out, stereotypical, no offense to you little sensitive Sallys, stereotypical single black lady mother. She was big. She had a bonnet on. She said, you want to fight my son? It's you that wants to fight him? And then she called me, the C word. I don't know if I can say it on TikTok. She's like, you little white boy, you white trash. My son would kick your ass. She was like, you rat face in the face. She was just making fun of me. And I'm like, she was rat face in the, she was like, you possum in the face. I'm like, oh shit. Hurting my feelings, dog. I was sad as shit. I'm like, I don't even want to fight no more, bro. I want to go home and cry. So I'm like, nah, I don't want to fight, man. I'm going home. I was like, yo, bro, walk me home. So I'm getting a little scared. So I walked to the corner. His little brother was there, the kid that I want to fight, the statue in the face. His little brother was like, you want to fight my brother, huh? Let's go then. I'll kick your ass myself. And I said, fuck it. And I swung like this because I couldn't fight. I just, I hit him with one of those right in his nose. He was like a little puppy that got hit in the nose. Ran off. He ran off and got his brother. He just hit me in my nose, started crying. I'm like, yo, all that tough talk. I'm trying to make this long story short because I only have 10 minutes. So the mom drops her son off right to the corner. He gets out the car, like, what's up? And the mom's like, kick his ass. She did this, one of these. And she was a big ass bitch. Big as hell. She had big breasts. Just digging there, a Twinkie gonna pop out. Twinkie rapper. She was one of those. So I'm like, oh shit. She over here kick his white ass. And I'm like, fuck, I ain't got no choice now. And the whole project walks to the corner. And they want to fight. I'm like, because I told them, I don't want to fight you because you're going to jump me. They're like, oh, they'll sit back there while me and you run the fade. I'm like, nah, man, I don't trust this motherfucker. But they caught me in the corner. What kind of mom is that? So she was like, get out the car, kick his ass. I'm like, fuck, I got to fight him now. Boy, I was scared as hell. I was shaking. I was like, fuck it. He's like, what's up? Boy, and I couldn't fight for shit back then. I was swinging like this. They call it the swimming. I was swimming. I swam and grabbed. Picked this little fucker up, slammed him right on his head. Bro, that shit took the fight out of him. I remember thinking about it. I'm like, damn, I slammed him hard as hell on his head. I hope he all right. Because, I still had heart. But I got on top of him and started pounding on him. I was like, I fucking hate you. And I fucking slammed him on the concrete again. Fucking all those kids ran down and beat my ass, bro. They tried to I had curly hair at the time. I remember this one chick. She was fucking uppercutting me. She had my hair over my fucking face. I'm like, oh shit. But I would not let go of this kid. I was on top of him like a walker. The Walking Dead walker. I want to bite his fucking face off because I couldn't stand his ass. I was on top of him. I was still hitting him. And they jumped me. They still jumped me. But I got my shit off too. And then everybody got off. Everybody scattered. My friends let it happen. They talking about, oh, we was breaking it up. Nah, motherfucker. Y'all let it happen. Y'all should have been swinging off on people. Because I would have did it for y'all. But they didn't. So yeah. Everybody scattered because the cops got there. Cops was like, go home, boy. What you doing here with these folks? Because, I look like a little, I'm a little gringo. Like, what am I doing with these brown and black folks out here starting trouble? Get your white ass to your house. So I went home, and I was like, fuck it, I got jumped, but I still won the fight. I still won. I stood up to the bully. And guess what? That little fucker never bullied anybody else. He never bullied anybody else, and his bitch ass moved back to Alabama with that bullshit. But we squashed it after that, like a week later. He was like, yo, why did he want to fight me? And I just said, you beat up my friend, bro. I don't like that. And you were racist. You kept talking shit about Spanish people, and I wasn't feeling that, bro. We don't all smell like Goya beans. guala gualas, all that shit you were talking about. So we squashed it, we shook hands. No lie. He ain't bully nobody else. He ain't fuck with nobody else. That shit humbled him. I felt like I did a great job that day. You know, for the Blanquitos. We out here, baby.
It seems there's something about people now standing up and speaking out loud against people that are not of their color. You know, it's okay when you have, you know, when we all know that most of them are actually anti-black, anti-brown, and all that. But when you're not beginning to speak vividly and audibly for people to hear, then something has gone wrong. Maybe the system has emboldened it, has strengthened it, has encouraged people to begin to speak out now. And of this present administration, this is what people are saying. People are beginning to speak out against other people, even though we know that's been existing, but before now it's always subtle, it's always, you know, they just say gently, subtly, but now they're beginning to speak out loud. And this brings me to the story of the guy who owned an office. I mean, he's sharing an office space, and he began to speak to the staff that, no, I don't want to hear you guys speak Spanish. I don't want to. It was, you guys watched it already, I guess. And of course, what happened to him? The Spanish community came out on a placard and they began to protest and going to say, you, as a citizen of a country, and of course, palm-colored person, your customers are everybody. I mean, when an individual person is anti-black, anti-white, anti-brown, it's okay. But when, as a business person, your business has to deal with people, and you're speaking against people who have to speak a particular language. This time around, we're speaking against the Spanish, and of course, Hispanic, excuse me, and of course, it got a backfired reaction. And of course, they began to speak against him. And guess what happened to him? He lost his office, he lost his business, they threw him out of the place because America as a country, even though it looks as if a majority of people are anti, people and all that, but as a country, people are saying, you can't support this. And when the group of people rises up against you, you are in trouble. And that's exactly what happened to this guy. The Hispanic community rose up with placard and began to speak. They even got a ban and began to speak against him, sing against him, and all of that. Before you knew it, it was removed. The business crumbled. It was evicted and all that. And this shows that there's a voice that is coming up. If you are still anti-people, anti-friendly, anti-black, anti-brown, you need to watch it, because what is happening now, there's an awareness that is coming up. People are beginning to speak against everything that is unrighteous, that is not good. People are against it. Look at the first video. The woman was the one that took it up upon herself. She took it upon, she said, no, that we don't support this behavior. She's a beautiful white lady, and she went against a fellow white man who is anti-black, brown, and of course she confronted him. And that is what is happening now. There's an awareness that is coming up because the younger generation don't really care about what they've been told. They depend on what they can see, what they can read, and that is what is happening right now. And that is why I love this story, because they stood against the man and they stood against this man. They stood against this man. They are men. And of course, they lost their job. Very first one, the police couldn't arrest him because he was within the confine, the boundary of his land. And of course, the police went away. But I believe that his cup has not really gotten filled up. When it gets gotten filled up, it will also meet its Waterloo. Because for 20 years ago, over 20 years ago, they said it has always been like that. That compound has always been a compound whereby children are not allowed. Once you are not palm-colored, you are not allowed to go further. That man, I can tell you very soon, it will be exposed. But well, guys, let me know what you think about this great story. If you love it, and let me know your view or your perception about people like this in the system. They shouldn't be encouraged to live among people, discriminating and causing a lot of segregation. People like that should be discouraged from living among the people. But the truth is, this video has been done to expose the lies and the gimmicks that some people are still believing in this 21st century. And I'm doing this to discourage such behavior in a community of people. And of course, we should embrace love. We should care for ourselves. That is why I'm doing this video. And of course, thank you guys for watching. And if today's your first time, do it to subscribe, like, and share this great content. And don't forget, always live in love, live in peace, and avoid trouble. Until I come your way again. Bye-bye.